It was just like a release I wasn't getting anywhere else. Like I felt like when I was painting, especially during that time, I was just kind of, speaking something that I didn't know what I was trying to say, but it was like releasing some sort of emotion for me onto the canvas that I wasn't like able to express anywhere else. And so I feel very connected to, because she wasn't, an artist as well, and that's how she expressed herself. I feel like very connected when I'm painting somehow to her. And I don't know what that's all about, but I do feel like it brings me in a way closer to her in a way. And I remember when she was like taking art classes and the things, like these paintings that she was bringing home, and I just remember being like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, like that she was creating these images. And at such a young age, she was only in high school when she was like taking these painting classes and bringing home like these amazing images. And so I never, thought that I would even pick up a paintbrush. And then after she died, it's just like something I started to do, and just felt like it came like natural, like something was just flowing out of me that I don't know where it came from. I feel like I have to be creative every day, and I don't know what I would do if I wasn't creative every day. I'm creative in my regular day job. I get to create, with students, and then like when I come home, I get to create. So I feel like my mind is like always going, and I have these ideas and I don't know what to do with them sometimes. And so they end up on canvas, they end up on paper, they're just kind of all over the place. But that's what really drives me. And sometimes it makes me wonder, like, do I think the same as other people? And I don't know that I do. Like, I might not see the sky the same way that somebody else sees the sky, but that's what keeps me going.
I met Amanda for the first time, I think, next door at the lodge. And she came in to see some of Hugo's work in my last show. And she's just got a really free spirit. And on Grand Avenue, we have a lot of collaborative working artists. One of the reasons that I selected Grand Avenue in Phoenix was because of the camaraderie between the artists down here. So I talked to her about maybe showing here, and she seemed very enthusiastic and interested in doing that. And I told her about Saints and Sinners. And I said, I don't know if you've got anything that would fit in that genre, or if you wanted to create an original piece for it. And she decided she wanted to create an original piece specifically for that show.
The whole idea was based off a dream that I had of meeting my dark side. I had gotten out of the shower, and I was nude, of course, and I'm walking, walking towards the mirror, and when I looked up and saw myself, like, it looked like my skin was like black velvet, and my hair was just like, like oily, like greasy, and I was just like, I was like dark, and then even my eyes were, dark. And so I was like, what's going on? And I walked towards myself, and I just kind of stood there and like looked at myself in the mirror. And then I reached up to touch my reflection of myself. And then once I did, I realized like, this is my dark side. And I pulled my hand back in my dream, and then I woke up and I was like, that was really intense. I've never had a dream like that. And then it really got me thinking, like, people have things inside them that, they keep buried, and, needs to find a way out somehow.
Saints and Sinners' original concept came from an idea I had for a painting that I wanted to create. And I still kind of have it in my head. I haven't created it yet, but it melded all different types of religious icons, from Buddhist to paganism to Christianity. So when I opened the gallery 6 months ago, you know, as each month progresses, I try to create a different theme around the show.
Some of the stuff I even, you know, forgot that I wrote in there, but I put like anything and everything that I could, you know, think of that bothered me or it just was like on my mind, or in my heart that I, you know, that I knew was wrong, you know. So I just put it all out there, and you know, and there's some really, like, I feel like the most personal things I put on there first because I layered. It was like, it's like layers and layers and layers of stuff. And I feel like the most deep personal things I put on there first, and like the things that I know are, so they're buried like deep in that painting, and then the things that are most recent and that are probably more up front, and or some that are silly that I remembered or like more on the surface, you know? But yeah, the deeper things are buried in there.
I think each shop has its own personality and look and feel that they're going for. So when I saw Amanda's work on Facebook, the color was the first thing. We had a desperate need for color here. And oddly enough, she uses a lot of the same colors, a lot of the bright greens and oranges and yellows that we have in the store that we love so much. So that just happened to be a great coincidence. And then again, something about her art, I think, makes people ponder. And this store is very slow moving. You don't just come in and out, you spend a lot of time here. So I think that it was a good fit that people can come in and take the time to really look.
My current series, Unraveled, that I've been working on, was conceived because I'm confused. I'm really confused on how I feel about relationships, like personal relationships. I chose the animals because I feel like, in one way, like if someone were to really sit and like look at the artwork, they might be able to make the connection once they figured out, like with the animals, you know, a connection without me having to tell them, you know, based off what the animals were, that, oh, okay, all these animals, you know, that she's choosing are monogamous animals. You know, having the strings attached, for me, or the ribbons attached, for me, represents that it can be undone just as easily as it was tied on. It can just be easily unraveled and undone and done, you know. So, and it's like a symbolism of there's no permanence. There's nothing that's absolutely permanent. As an artist, it is nice to get your art out there and to have people see it, but if it's in a place that you don't feel represents you very well as an artist, then don't do it. And that's my take on it. I've been asked to participate in events where I'm like, I don't feel comfortable, or I don't feel like my art would flow. You know, as an artist and as a person who is trying to express themselves, sometimes you can't do that in words. And so I do it on canvas.